Hello everyone, and you join us here today inside of the 2026 BMW M2 CS, and conveniently this is just 1 year after we were able to drive the M2 in a really awesome, cool blue color. This may be journalist gray as we like to call it, but Brooklyn gray, which is a quite nice shade. But it is the CS, and we have to talk about all the changes on this model, even though you can't really get a new one anymore. But if you're looking for one used, and if you really appreciate this vehicle and BMWs of modern era, we have to talk about this vehicle. So let's start it up. Nice spicy exhaust note there, and we're gonna head off and go on a drive, and we'll talk about what it's like to live with this BMW M2 CS on a daily basis, especially with these carbon bucket seats that I actually surprisingly quite like a lot. Pop it into drive, and let's head off. And surprisingly this week, driving the M2 CS, I was expecting it to be a lot stiffer than it was going to be. It reminds me quite a lot of the M2, which in its right is not a, I wouldn't say super comfortable vehicle. For the average person, I would say it's pretty stiff. And this is as well. Some even say it may feel like living in a rock tumbler, but for those that appreciate a nice, stiff, rigid, sporty, dynamic chassis, it's surprisingly not too bad around town. Yes, it's bumpy, but it can handle the bumps pretty well, actually, and you never feel unsettled in the M2 ever. It's all that Nürburgring tuning there. And around town, it's pretty easy to drive. You can put the engine in efficiency mode. You're not, launching forward all the time. We have the 8-speed ZF automatic gearbox, which is great around town. You don't have that dual clutch jerkiness as we experience it in the M2 as well. But we also get a really sharp gearbox when need be, which I think is really nice. Now, off the bat, you really aren't going to notice too many driving characteristical differences when driving this thing around town. Power is great, it's strong, but yes, we do have a lot more power, and you really do notice that when you're really into it and you feel that incredible surge of acceleration, but it does so in a way that doesn't feel unsettled, as I mentioned, and it's able to put its power down, but in a BMW way. You turn off traction control, for example, and you're going to be all over the place in some situations, but again, still in a BMW controlled fashion here. Now we have also our M1 and M2 configurable modes here. We'll pop it into our M2 setting right now, which I have the Sport gearbox set up and Sport Plus powertrain. Let's have a listen to this. Yeah, this thing is not slow. It's a very characterful engine. I love the S58. It's a very, very playful engine. It revs. The twin turbo boost in this thing is wicked fast. It's really, really impressive. And around town, again, you can have a little bit of fun with it within the limits here, but the limits here are definitely high. This is a road car primarily, but it has a lot more track capability with this, more additional performance tuning in this particular vehicle. We have the optional carbon ceramic brakes on this particular one as well, which you don't need. They bring you to a stop pretty intensely. You can actually adjust the brake boost level via your M modes there. So if you want even more aggressive braking force, you can have so. Now we do have an exhaust button as well, so I could actually press that. I'll shut up for a second. It gets a little bit quieter. And if you press this button here to open up those valves again, you can definitely notice a little bit more sound coming in here. Now we do have active M sound, so there is sound being pumped in through the speakers. Those burbles you hear in the background aren't all entirely real in the cabin. Surprisingly, outside it is really loud. I don't know why modern cars are doing this all the time now, but you can't really hear all the great noises inside the vehicle. You can hear them on the exterior, so you got to roll down the windows a little, and you'll really get some really, really nice, loud, aggressive sounds, turbo whooshes, pops, and bangs, and all of the sorts, which I really do appreciate. I've always been impressed with what BMW has been able to do with the ZF 8-speed gearbox. They are able to get it to be tuned so precisely, so aggressive with the shifts, that it really does feel like a dual clutch. Only on downshifts, sometimes when you're really hammering down those downshifts, and you may notice it's not as super rapid as a dual clutch, for example, but upshifts are right up there. It's really impressive. And of course, you have that adjustability of 3 levels of drive and 3 levels of sport transmission tuning, as typical with M vehicles these days. So you really have, I would say this ZF 8-speed continuously is offering a more diverse experience here. You really can daily these cars without being jerked around all the time in your driver's seat or passenger seats, but also having that ability to be so aggressive and very edgy when needed. Okay, folks, we're gonna head out onto the highway here. We'll pop it into our M2 setting once again for more manual fun here. You can hear those pops and bangs happening. Downshift into second. Car is warmed up, thankfully, so we'll be all set. Yeah, this thing's crazy. You can get into a lot of trouble with this very quickly, this car. It's very, very fun, and it loves to be driven. It loves to be driven aggressively. It loves to be driven hard. It loves to be revved. Wow, that's a lot of power. So as we are on the highway, and this is a daily driving impressions of this M2 CS, living with it over the course of the week, there are some things I will have to point out. So I'm not sure if BMW has chosen to do this very small gas tank out of lightweightness, but I believe I remember this on the M2 as well. It's around like 13, 14-ish gallons, under 14 gallons, I believe. And in range-wise, it's not super great. It's around 250, 270 miles, maybe 300 if you're on a highway road trip in only efficiency mode, babying the vehicle. You can get surprisingly decent fuel economy actually out of this engine, but the range isn't incredible. That was just one complaint there. My other thing would be that it is for passengers. If you have someone in the vehicle, it's a little bit stiff. I don't really care. I'm a driver. I'm in an M2 CS. They're choosing to come in this vehicle as a passenger, so that would be their own, I would say, complaint there. But other than that, there's really no issues here. If you can get beside those little quirks of owning such a vehicle, these carbon bucket seats, I personally think, are my favorite seat. I know some people find them uncomfortable with this little center portion piece over here, but I think for my body shape and type and my height, 6 feet tall, they hug you fantastic. You have a lot of adjustment. You have a side bolster adjustment. You have power adjustment. You can get real nice and low in this vehicle as well, like real nice and low. And that's what you really want. It gives that really signature BMW driving experience. BMW does a very thick, chunky steering wheel, and this is no exception here. It's all Alcantara in the M2 CS, and it's fine. I wish the steering could be a little bit more direct in its feedback to me as a driver. It is a very quick and direct steering rack, don't get me wrong, but I would like a little more feel and feedback on here. I'm honestly not too sure if it's even the steering rack that may be the issue. It might even be these giant chunky steering wheels, but if you're really into grip on while you're driving the M2, you can definitely do so with confidence. And surprisingly, one of the big things that really surprised me this week, daily living with it, is it has adaptive cruise control. I don't believe there's a full, lane centering keep assist system. I turned most of those things off because I want to drive the M2 CS this week, not have it drive me. But in traffic, the adaptive cruise control works great. No issues there, and surprisingly a nice convenient feature if you're driving it to a track, for example, or to a windy road and you get stuck in some traffic. Just throw that on and kind of ignore the people around you here. Some downshifts, and this is regular transmission mode. Yeah, this thing is a beast in terms of power. Again, for an aggressive vehicle in this CS, I think they could have gone even further. Obviously, there's the CSL nameplate, but I think they could have gone a little bit further with some of the aggression on this particular M2 CS. There's a lot of carbon all over the place. You have that unique ducktail spoiler out back, which all of this we all love, but some things are a little frustrating, I would say. This carbon center tunnel here, while it looks absolutely fantastic, it creaks and rattles non-stop. It's just the thing of having carbon on carbon with each other, and it eliminates the cup holder. And you may say, oh, why would I want a cup holder in my M2 CS? But they have the space for it, they just removed it. And you don't have a center armrest storage here. I know this has been a CS thing for a while. We reviewed an M3 CS of the prior generation that had the same situation there, but I think it's a little silly. While you're driving, you know, as a daily driver, you would kind of want a cup holder. And it's not like there's a manual gearbox here that you're gonna bang your arm into. So there's also that, I would say, to take into consideration. If I bought this, I'd 3D print a cup holder and just shove it into this box right here. But the only thing I could really come off with this week driving the M2 CS is every single time I get in it, I am happy, I smile, I am filled with joy, because it's such a pleasure to drive. It's so precise, it's so well planted on bumps and uneven pavement. It feels confident even with this additional power. And I know in the right conditions, which unfortunately we don't have here in this part of New York, it'll be very, very fun on a track. The biggest elephant in the room here is that, yes, it is a limited edition vehicle. I believe it's no longer on sale, and on top of that, it's very expensive. This M2 CS is well north of 100 grand. This is one's, I believe, at 109, 110 grand as configured here with the carbon ceramic brakes. Starts just under a hair of 100 grand in like 99 range, but that's a lot of money to pay for an M2, especially over a regular M2. And you know, yeah, you're getting the extra power here, you're getting the extra components, you still gotta pay extra for those carbon ceramic brakes, but the price is definitely up there. And I'm very curious to see if they're gonna choose to do a M2 CSL, or maybe an M2 CS hand shelter. As we just saw, BMW has just revealed the M3 hand shelter, which is essentially an M3 CS manual gearbox. And I would not be surprised if they did that same exact packaging into this M2 CS, maybe in a year or two, once this generation really is bowing out. Oh, this thing grips. So folks, thank you for joining us on a little bit of a different style of driving impressions over at Allcarnews. And as always, stay tuned for more coming soon, and make sure to like and subscribe on our channel, as well as Instagram, TikTok. We're all over the internet. Thanks again for watching, and stay tuned for more. Cheers.